Raiders and the Steelers setting up some live movement in this game. Kyle Pinnacle opened up offshore at 5.5, now sits at 6. FanDuel opened up at 6, now sits at 5.5. So there's some 6.5s, depending on where you're shopping at. You're getting anywhere basically from 6 to 6.5s. Is that number a little bit too high? Let's get into what we like and dislike about this game. Like the fact last week that the Raiders won the football game over the Ravens, but now going on the road and facing an elite defense. Kyle, when we took a look at the pathway to victory for the Raiders on Monday night, it was throwing 1,000,000 times. You throw 1,000,000 times against the Steelers, they will get home 500,000 times against you here. So you might have some turnovers, some interceptions in this game. But my one issue here is I do like the Steelers, and I picked the Steelers at the -6. I think they can get it done by a touchdown. I still think Big Ben is washed. I watched that game. Look, he was playing on the road, windy conditions in Buffalo, but he looked absolutely washed, like we learned nothing in the offseason. I lost 30 pounds. I got a new offensive coordinator. Ben, you look terrible as well. You had no points at the half. You had a couple nice balls where your wide receiver made jump ball plays with terrific catches, but outside of that, unimpressed with Ben. And I won't be surprised if I'm looking at the TV Sunday and screaming like, why did I take the Steelers in this game? Big Ben is washed out here, Kyle.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I rewatched that Buffalo, Pittsburgh game, and I saw your tweet. You're absolutely right. Buffalo should have blown them out. That game should have been over in the first half. Yep. It really should have been. This one's tough, right? Because both teams are sort of being overvalued. The Steelers beat, an AFC contender, a Super Bowl contender in Buffalo, and of course, no one expected the Raiders to go out and beat Baltimore. So now you don't really get that, okay, I want to buy low on one of these teams because we're having to buy high on both of them. The Raiders team total at 20.5 looks kind of interesting to me. The way they threw the ball, they're going to have to do it again this week. But like you said, if Derek Carr throws the ball 50 times against the secondary, they're very opportunistic. They are going to get to the quarterback. Baltimore's defense looked a little sluggish. Of course, they were missing Marcus Peters after just a long week for Baltimore. I'm going to chalk a lot of that up to that. Leaning aside here, I do lean the Steelers. I think they are the better team. That Raiders defense is not very good. We didn't get to see all of the holes in their secondary last week because Lamar Jackson is so limited in what he can do as a passing quarterback. Look, and I know that pisses people off. Just go watch the game. I've watched every Lamar Jackson game twice. Yeah. The dude cannot beat you with his arm. Plain and simple, end of story. If he could, the Ravens would have beat the Raiders by 30 points. There's holes all over that Vegas secondary. I mean, Casey Hayward, Nate Hobbs, and Trayvon Mullen. I can't give you – it's hard for me to give you a list of three worst starting corners in the entire league. The question for the Steelers this week, can the offensive line hold up? Will Najee Harris continue to run the ball? They do. The Steelers get this done here. Not sold on the Raiders. I know they beat the Ravens, and I'm not necessarily sold on the Steelers either. Just that weak offensive line for Pittsburgh, how much advantage is Oakland going to be able to take advantage of it? I don't think much. I like the Steelers here.
Yeah, Joseph Gomez, short week for the Raiders, early game on Sunday, West Coast going East Coast. There are a lot of conditions going against the Raiders. Do I think they'll put up a performance? I do. But if I can get that crystal ball out, Kyle, and take a look and be like, hey, Big Ben looks good in this football game. They should roll and do whatever they want on offense. I just don't want to be screaming that Big Ben, throw the football downfield. Like, what is going on in their offense? Why is it 3-0 the Steelers in the second quarter? It shouldn't be that way. We'll see how Big Ben comes out. And beggars can't be choosers. Hey, Matthew Stafford's on the Steelers. You know what I mean? We can't do that because Big Ben is who we have to go and handicap. I would almost argue if you flipped quarterbacks and put Carr on the Steelers, he would light up that secondary for his own Raiders with those Steelers weapons. But you can't do that at this point. We'll see how it does turn out.